Asè Axé Ashé. It's Ashley from the Asè Shop, and welcome to Story Time. These are my retellings and readings of various stories about the Orisha. It is my prayer that these stories uplift you when you are down, expand your perspective, and strengthen your faith. This story is about Ogun and Ochosi going to meet their father. I found it really interesting, especially in the way the author wrote it. So I'm choosing to read this story versus giving you my complete version of it because there's some things that stood out, and I want to see if these things stand out to you too. You can find this story in Alex Kuoko's African Narratives of Orisha Spirits and Other Deities. Of course, the resources will be listed in the description. So let's get into this story. Long ago in Ife, while a hunter was wandering around a forest, all of a sudden he heard sounds of voices coming from behind the bushes. He slowly took a look to see what they were and who they were, and he saw Ochosi and Ogun having a conversation. The hunter remained quiet, listening to what they were saying. Ochosi said, "Ah, Ogun, there is an old man in Ife who says he is our father." Ogun says, "Ha, I don't have a father." Ochosi said, "I don't have one either, but how can we be sure that he's not really our Baba?" Baba is another name for father in Yoruba. And Ogun says if he really is our Baba, he should know something personal about us. Ochosi said, "Yeah, that's right. But what should he know?" Ogun said he should know the proper manner in which to refer to us. Ochosi said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. So I'll go to his hut and I'll knock on his door. And if he says, 'Ochosi Ode, is that you?' I'll know for sure he's my Baba. However, if he answers in any other way, I'll know he's an imposter and I'm going to end him. And you, Ogun, you do the same." Ogun says, "Yes." I will go knock on the door, and if he says that, "Is that you, Ogun Oniire?" then I will know he is my Baba too. And if he answers in any other way, I will help you in ending him. The hunter who was listening to their plan ran back to Ife to tell the old man what he heard and said, "Ah, Baba, Ochosi and Ogun are on their way here. They heard that you are claiming to be their Baba, and they think that you are an imposter and they're coming to test you." The old man said, "Ha, how are they going to test me?" The hunter said, "Ah, Baba, Ochosi said that when he knocks on the door, if you don't say Ochosi Ode, he's going to end you." The old man said, "And what is Ogun gonna do?" The hunter said, "Ah, he will do the same. When he knocks on the door, if you don't say that, 'Hey, is that you, Ogun on the Ire?' then he will join Ochosi in ending you." The old man said, "Ah, thank you for the warning. I will prepare for their arrival." Later on, Ochosi and Ogun came out of the forest and walked through Ile Ife. It was it had been a long time since both of them had going to live in the forest, so nobody had really seen them for a very long time. So the people at Ile Ife really missed Ogun and they really missed Ochosi. So when they saw them walking through town, they was like, "Oh my God," because Ochosi was skilled at being a hunter. He brought all the good meat in, all the good stuff in. Ogun was skilled at being a blacksmith. New innovations and technologies were always created in Ogun's presence. So the people watched as they went to the old man's hut. When they arrived, Ochosi was the first to knock on the door. Ogun hid nearby. The old man answered. He said, "Ah, is that you, Ochosi Ode?" Ochosi replied, "Yes, it is me, Baba." The old man opened the door and let him in. He's like, "Oh my God, I have a father." Soon after, Ogu came out of hiding and went knock on the door. The old man said, um, "Is that you, Ogun Oniire?" Ogun said, "Yes, it's me, Baba." The old man opened the door and let him in. He said, "Ah, my sons, I have really missed you, and the people of Ile Ifa do too. Why do you not stay here with us?" Ogun replied. No, I'm not gonna stay. I just came to see you and I'm going back into the forest. I actually like it out in the forest. I don't really care for it in the streets." Ochosi agreed with his brother. Ochosi was like, "Yeah, I just came to see you too. I don't really like it here either. I'm gonna go back into the forest with my brother." So Ogun said he would come back and visit from time to time, but he really didn't. Ogun never really went back to visit the man. Ochosi would go back to Ile Ife every once in a while, and he would visit the old man, and he would bring him like games and different gifts and things. This story is interesting to me because they never state who the father is. And they also never state who the hunter is. But then I kind of have my guesses at who the father would be. I definitely think the father is Obatala. It couldn't be anybody else, or it could be Oduduwa. But they really don't give too much info into who the father is. But then for some reason, I think because the hunter went back and relayed the message, the hunter is actually Eshu. Because Eshu isn't like that Orisha that just does one thing. Eshu does many things, and he also is known for hunting. Um, I think the hunter is Eshu. I think the father is Obatala, but that's just my opinion. What do you think about this story? It also stood out to me that these two, Ochosi and Ogun, are very much saying that, hey, they grew up without a father, they grew up without a man present, and they go to see this man, and this man does claim to be their father. How do they really feel about that? Like, what's really going on in their heads? Is there a reason Ogun never goes back to visit his father again? And Ochosi does visit, but the relationship is still probably very distant. Does this remind you of things that happen nowadays? Does this story resonate with you? I look forward to hearing from you. Make sure you visit me at theasheshop.com.